How do
It's
you
pretty
think
heavy
this
duty.
then affects the case against Sheriff Stines here for the murder? I mean, just last week we were talking about they were floating the possibility of the death penalty around, which seemed rather premature for something like this. But now you get into this. I guess it's really going to depend a lot on what did he know and when did he know it.
Yeah, Tony, it's going to be one of those cases that I think is going to blow minds. To be honest
Yeah,
with you, I think there's going to be. I mean, if these allegations with respect to Judge Kevin Mullins are true, that is like just unbelievable.
yeah,
If you've got a judge that is in exchange for sexual favors, providing leniency to defendants in cases, man, it is going to be unbelievable. And then you have to try to figure out, if you're the prosecutor's office, how do you factor that in? Like, because we do
yeah,
not live in a vigilante country. We can't just go take the law into our own hands. We've talked about this multiple times on different cases.
yeah,
Can't do it, but how does that affect what you charge them with?
yeah.
You know? So
Well,
it's going to be really
I
interesting, man.
guess my other, I mean, none of this, it's not like anybody here has absolute power. These are systems of multiple people that have to know what the right hand and left hand are doing of the others to make this all work. So then it goes to the next question: who else knew? Did the DA know that this was going on? Because it's not. Correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, but as far as my knowledge of the judicial system, the judge doesn't typically take defendants back into their chambers privately on a regular basis for intimate time together without their attorneys.
You are not wrong, Tony. I've never seen a judge take a defendant back in chambers, ever, under any circumstances.
Yeah.
I can't even. I've had cases where we're on record in chambers, and they won't allow the defendant to come back, who
Hmm.
technically has a right to be back there,
Yeah.
for every part of the proceedings. But dude, no, that does not happen. That is
So
not that is not a normal thing.
you would think there'd be people going, this is kind of odd. He keeps having these female defendants that have, I'm going to guess fairly not, I'm going to guess somewhat minor charges that he could bump around his way. I'm not trying to make a pun. I really was not.
I think you were.
I think I did inadvertently, but I was not trying to make a pun. Um, and I would think somebody would have raised an eyebrow, going, "It's kind of odd. Maybe what's going on back there?"
Man, like, especially like his bailiff.
Yeah,
I mean, like a judge's bailiff and their court clerk, they know everything that's going on in a judge's chambers. They know all the judge's business, because those two people in particular, like the primary bailiff for the judge, that's like their security.
yeah,
It's like the equivalent of like you having a bodyguard. That's what your bailiff is, and your court clerk is just all up in your business. In terms of dispositions on cases,
how would they not
like
know? I
like
mean,
right. That's what I'm saying. So, because like when the clerk is entering a disposition, and say for instance that clerk is privy to that defendant going back in chambers, and then at some point during that defendant's next court date, she gets some kind of nolly pros, or the judge does something that really changes the course of her case in a significant way, and that clerk has to enter it into the system. I mean, you don't think that clerk's putting it together?
yeah.
I mean, people had to know, is the point. People had to know.
And he's been on the bench for 15 years. So this is going to take a lot of, I mean, there's got to be defense attorneys just like chomping at the bit here on old cases going, oh, I think we can take a look at this again.
Yeah. Oh man, that's such a great point, because the ramifications, if this stuff starts to come to light, like every single defendant that's ever been
Yeah.
sentenced, that's ever had a trial in front of that judge, everybody's going to want to look at everything that he's done. I mean, because if the allegations are true, he lost his way at some point.
Yeah.
We don't know when. I would tend to believe that it wasn't early on in his career on the bench. It's
Yeah.
probably later on, after he's been up there for a while, real comfortable. just kind of running shit.
Yeah.
And starts to take some liberties and, gets away with it. And then it just kind of snowballs. But I mean, at this point, there's just allegations. I
Yeah.
mean, whatever that recording that Banfield's producer dug up,
Mhm.
though,
Yeah.
pretty damning. It's pretty
If
damning.
true, pretty damning. Yeah. And I'm imagining there's probably a lot more that is known that we do not know yet. And I'm thinking there's probably, my guess is there's a lot more people that are going to be brought up in this.
Yeah,
This,
without question.
this
Yeah, and you know what, man? We're gonna know soon enough.
not going to be a happy holiday for some folks. Be a fun one to explain around the Christmas tree. Hey, guess why? Yeah, let's put the
I
kids
bet
in
you
the
there's a.
movie.
Could you imagine being a fly on the wall in that courthouse?
Mm-mm,
Whoo, man.
no,
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
I'll be there.
a lot of stress. Stress levels are rising down in what is it, Letcher
Yeah,
County,
yeah,
Kentucky? The stress levels are rising,
yeah.
man. So
Threat
yeah.
level midnight. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Bruschi, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.